Hello. Hey. Okay. Hello. So yeah. Yeah, I was working on something like ESLint related. Yeah, if I want to know, like we can talk about that later. But that's starter. All right. Oh, what I'm doing. So a few seconds. I think I need to. All right. All right. And this is and then GitHub LP. That's very nice. Hello. And yeah, I think I need to zoom in a little bit, right? So I think this should be fine. That's what we have. And close all the file. And here we have the commit. Right. Okay. And whoa, is that a new GitHub changes? Okay, I quite like it. That's interesting. I didn't know until now. That's pretty good. Yeah, I like that they make them so easy to find out these files. Otherwise, you have to know that this license file is like you go to a license file. Okay, I think that's pretty neat. I'm not sure if it works for some other directory, but yeah. Okay, I think we should start. So yeah, so let's start. So let's catch up a little bit about the changes in terms of the PRs and commits. All right. So okay. Uh so oh, I think we should go from commits, not directly from PRs. So I think last time we had Eduardo coming, and this is the commit that I made with Eduardo. And we have the setup Monenco editor. And yeah, if you remember that if you remember that yeah, on the last Tuesday, we kind of struggle with the type checking, right? And it's amazing that right after streaming, that's we have someone like send the PR to fix that, and that's again I find it's really amazing in open source, and it's also interesting that I would never thought that way. Uh, the the thing is that is because the course origin issue, and also like this config is updated in the Vite configuration. So I guess that's have something related to how Nuxt works. So we're probably using Vite's dev server, and then that's the Vite dev server is not the same as Nitrom's. So so you add these headers in the Vite, and then the worker resolve it will be working. And this is something that I'm not sure if you can consider it as a bug of Nuxt, but I think we should definitely improve that. And otherwise, that's the fix. So basically, it's trying to query the worker, and well, that's this course origin policy kind of forbidden that to do it. So that we failed to load the TypeScript worker. So that's it. So basically, this PR fixed that, and it's pretty amazing. And yeah, I didn't expect it to work that way. Yeah, I was thought there must be some configuring issue, and so that's it. So we got the TypeScript working. So if you come here to see, yeah, if you have a equal to 1, and if you assign a type to it, so you have the type arrow here. So it says type number is not assignable to type string. So that is great. And so at least we got the TypeScript working, and then we will figure out how to do it for Volar. And then I merge where am I? Okay, I update the log. I fix some bundling for Monenco. So for Monenco editor, yeah, and Monenco storing unspec error. Oh no, this is already done. So and then upgrade to Nuxt to use the nightly v file, and as it's supposed, I think like 3.9 of Nuxt should be coming soon. Okay, and then I fixed the Monenco changes. So basically, it was not being able to change back to the to the step list. So here is like on this change model content. So we emits the update model value. Wait, what? I guess I'm doing a little bit wrong here. Okay. Maybe. I'm not so sure because this changes never be fired. So we'll see. So it's basically like trying before like text editor. Before we use Monenco, we use text area, and text area has vbind to input, and we have the change. And after we move to Monenco, it's like lost. So this commit fix it, but I'm not sure if it is the correct fix. And then I merged a PR to add the file tree. So as you can see here, so it's basically adding the file tree, and I think I quite like the implementation. So it's quite straightforward, I think. So here is the first is adding a new utility to mapping the virtual file into a tree. So it'll be a virtual file system tree, and he also added the types, and that's good. So you have the tree and you have a directory, and directory is the tree again. So you basically have, yeah, we basically have that, and then it's like building a tree, and this function construct this from a plain array of the file to a tree, and passing it to a new component called panel editor file system tree, and then it's basically a recursive component. So here this part is to showing the item, and then here is part is the recursive one. So it's the content of it, and it only shows when the directory is open, and we have this component itself to mapping the files of the component of the directory, and that's it. And here we have here you have the name of the file, and this is the small icon. And also like here has a sorted directory. So I'm thinking that's probably so currently the directory, the files is actually an array, an object. So here is actually an object. So I'm thinking it might be better to have an array instead. So we can already sort them inside this file tree. But it's not something you have to do it, I guess. But yeah, that's something in my mind. Maybe we could improve that later. And we just remove all these plain list to the file tree, the file system tree. And yeah, that's it. And that is great. So we merge it. So we can move forward faster. And then we have another PR is for fixing the screen flashing during iframe navigation. And if you haven't noticed, that is whenever you click a button, when you click a link inside the web page, usually it's handled by a view router. So it's a soft navigation. It does not cost you a full page reload, and it's like client-side navigation as an SPA. And before that, because we are listening to the events, that's whenever you change the route, it should change the URL, right? And whenever you change the URL, it's actually refreshing the iframe again, because it's setting a new it's setting a new address to the iframe. So it's like triggering that whenever you do a soft navigation, it's actually going back to the main frame and update the preview URL and set back to the iframe and cause the iframe to refresh again. So that is not ideal, and you will see a flash of the window here. So here the fix is basically changing the preview URL from a computed, which is recalculated automatically and triggers the refresh, to a ref, and we manually update it. And it's like putting the update preview URL function inside it. And when it's triggering, it's only like refreshing iframe, it will trigger in that, and navigate will trigger in that, but not the, where is it? So here, I think we have one function is coming from, where is it? I think it's RPC. So that check the code base directly, maybe. I guess that's because the file is not changed. So what is RPC? No, it's not here. And then, yes, on navigate. So on navigate is a soft navigation, and here, so here is like it's only updating the preview location full path, but it's not calling the play.update. So it's not calling this, so it's not triggering a full refresh. So that's it. It's basically separate between user input and the navigation coming from the client. If the navigation coming from the client, we don't need to do the refresh again because it's already done. And yeah, and here, and toggling file tree panel, dragging. Okay, I made this panel resizable. I think just like we did before about this panel and this panel. So I just do it offline. It's pretty straightforward. And then I match the scene from Monaco. So I add a custom scene to Monaco, and it's also I'm changing the background to transparent. So so like the background is not gray, it's a little bit blue gray to match the scene. And whenever I change to light mode, it will also change to light mode, and I'll change it back. and that's it. And it should be like straightforward, and also update the tree icons. So so here now you can see the view icons, the Nuxt icon, the npm icon. So yeah, that's a small UI related update. And adjust pending, adjust styling, and here is the adding node modules to ignore files. So this is a straightforward PR, but I didn't add it before because this array is only used to filter the import globe, import meta globe, and that is like import meta globes by default ignores node modules. So I didn't thought about like here I need to do it because it's already done. But the reason we need this is like whenever you download that files, it's also using the ignore file to filter out all these files in the web container. And so we also need to add that. So when you click the download zip, it doesn't download the node modules with you. So that I think that should be more ideal. And so that's it. And then I have a little arrow, little arrow to the file. So it's works more like VS Code. When you click it, you have the arrow coming down, and when it's closed, it's like arrow coming right. So yeah, that's so far about the changes we have made, and I have to say that's okay. Currently, it's look pretty good now. You have the file tree, you have the editor, you have the TypeScript, and so also like here you see that this define Nuxt config is not undefined, and that is because we didn't grab the ts config from the web container. Well, that's here actually you have a ts config file, and that is pointing to the ts config that generated by Nuxt. So currently here you have the file missing. So no, it's the file is presented, but we are not connected to. We didn't connect the Monaco editor with the ts config we have. So with the ts config we have in stackblaze. So the editor itself is actually does not aware of any existence of the web container. It's just showing the content. And here, because the type is not here, so like obviously it's not knowing where the types would come from. So it's only checking for single file. Yeah. All right, thank you. So for the things I use here, I think here, yeah, here you have a link on the repository ntfu/use. It will listing all the things, or physical or software or the styles I use. So you can find my phone there, and it's input mono. But here is actually a DM sense, and here the monospace is DM mono. So you just remind me that I haven't changed the fonts in the Monaco editor. So I guess that should be straightforward. Maybe we should change it right now. And so here we basically go to this editor client. So about this editor client, I think maybe we should call it editor Monaco. So Monaco. So it's actually more obvious. So when we search for it, I think we can search for it better. So in that case, I will just commit that file. So here. So that's the catch up and catch up. Okay, and so I think that's the first that changed the font. So we have a font family, I guess. So we have a No, it's not input mono. It's dm mono and monospace. I'm not sure if that works. So I need to refresh the page. It seemed to work. Yeah, I think it seemed to work. Because we already installed the, I think we already installed the plugin. No, we already installed the font, the web fonts in our environment. So it should be using the font we want. Wait, what? This up. What is this thing? Yeah, so it says it's DM mono, which is good. And that means the font will be matching with the rest of our terminal, our documentation. And so all right. And I'm not sure what we should go in. So we probably should try Volar. So here we have the project. It's called Monaco Volar. I think this is the very first implementation of having Volar running in Monaco. But I'm wondering, I guess this is more active, right? This is from create languages server. Okay. I guess this is more like for general purpose Volar, and it's not related to Vue, because Volar, just let you know that Volar was once a Vue IDE editor. No, IDE integration is a VS Code extension, and now Volar becomes more universal. It's called Volar JS, and that is for. Let me check. That would be for. Oh, it doesn't. Okay, it doesn't have. You see that it doesn't have a view at all. So it should be a core of the like a big custom languages that's working in VS Code. So this effort will be reused by Astro and Seville, I guess, and maybe other new framework in the future. So it's more a bit like more generalized, and it can be it'll be like a language agnostic. So you basically have this foundation, and then you write some plugins on top of it in order to support your custom file syntax. And for Vue, it's the original repo is renamed to language tools. So this is actually the Volar we are talking about, and you see this is based on Volar.js. So it's the core is being extracted, and now this is coming as a language tools. And okay, so yeah, that's a lot of things. So I see this, you have a lot of different type of things. So I think that's we should go to the Vue repo. This thing, because this is being used in V 2.0 now supports Monaco editor, but it also requires explicitly passing the object to use for tree shaking. Okay, so I guess we are not going to we are going to use this editor directly, maybe. Yeah, I think that we were talking about this the last time. So we're basically not going to use it directly, but we will use it as a reference. So we will see how it use Monaco. Okay, so you have a view worker. Okay, import TS from CDN. That's not something we need. So okay, so it's using Volar / Monaco. So I think basically we can install it, I guess. So I think in order to verify, we could change our template basic, and maybe you can change app.view. So here, you can have a script setup language TS, and then we can have a message called hello world, right? And we can have a number here. So it here is an arrow, and then we have here, and what we could do about it? Oh, yeah. Okay. So here we have two arrow inside our VS Code, and that is fair, right? Okay, maybe we can do two uppercase. Right, two uppercase. Is that two uppercase like that? Let me try. Okay, two uppercase. So here you see that on runtime it should works fine because this is actually a string. But we told TypeScript that this is actually a number. So it's actually throwing this the first arrow here to say you cannot cast string to number, and here is like you cannot use to uppercase on a number because TypeScript thinks it's a number, but on the runtime it should works. So if we go back to, yeah, we can have it. So like uppercase hello world, it works fine. But here we suppose we want that Volar to throw arrows here. So yeah, so basically that's the goal of integrating with Volar. And here, if I go, I think it's it's Volar Monaco. So here we have that file, and we will see how it's used. So we'll copy this thing. Okay, it also needs a language server service. So we basically will install this auth as well. And then on message, that's interesting. Worker, what is worker? Monaco editor core. What is Monaco editor core? Oh, I'm much more confused now. So here, this is the worker, and what? This looks so complicated. So so here I think we're basically trying to do is here. It says TypeScript ignore. So this is a view worker, and for the environment, it needs Monaco. Load wasm loads Monaco environment, and where this function is from. Okay. Get worker here. Okay. So when the label is view, wow. This is this is much more complex. So here, if we ignore this TS version, so we have a post image, post message. Why would post message about this? Init. Okay. So so it's basically working for the worker to be ready, I suppose. And here we have the view worker. So we have a view worker.ts, right? And okay. I was so surprised. This is so Reload language tools. Reload. Okay. Okay. So we have a view worker. Like, what if we just copy a whole file? So the different is like here. This is trying to load it from CDN. Well, that's I guess that's we don't want CDN. We want to bundle it, in a sense. So okay, so here, what if we just forgot about it? And on message, I guess we don't need a message either. And here, that's super tricky. Yeah, I think I have to read it more carefully. Resolver, decorate service environment. Whoa. Okay. Language service. It does not have type. It shouldn't. Oh. I'll restart. .amp. Here, worker host. What is worker host? Okay. I wonder how I supposed to learn those things. Utilities. Get or create model. Okay, this is fine. And so the amp, right? View worker, you treat it as a worker. Editor worker. Okay. And then what is this coming from? This is coming from amp. And we are on the amp file. Yeah. Where's the worker environment? The worker host. Okay, here. I saw it. Okay, unfetch CDN file. And it's get or create model. I guess we don't need that. Maybe? I don't know. Okay. Initialize. So if we don't do it, and we are using like ignore. Okay. Missing types. Like that. Not so sure. So if we don't need this, if we don't need this, I feel risky. Very risky. Okay. So basically we have this working. No, it's not. I didn't mean it working, but at least I think we have it on the type level. It should be fine. We just ignore all the CDN thing, and so here we have the view worker. So it's view worker from like here, and with the worker, we'll just put it here. Okay, if we don't do the init thing. So, okay, so it'll be basically like that. So we create our own view worker, and it'll be the same as just return a new worker. And, all right, so we don't need this thing because this is already initialized in the worker. And I think we need to change to the Monaco here. We have the languages. So here, view, we should return view. I don't know. I don't have a very good feeling about it. So at least we should try to see. What's the error coming? Or maybe it will just magically works. Okay. It does not seem to work. All right. So I think here, in order to speed up a little bit, so I think here we need to assign the file. So that's for sure. And we can return it. If I return it, okay, that's not good. So if true, return it. Okay, I cannot do it. Import meta.dev. So to do. So basically, when we testing Monenco editor, like we just return it, so we don't do the upcoming thing. So when we refresh, it will be never coming. So we basically can ignore these things. We are going to focusing on the editor first. And so I think outside of view, it works fine. But view is not view on view worker is not doing well. So so all right. So if we're going to be honest, and then it's not like that tries views CDN approach. So basically just adding a new CDN. So maybe the CDN is important, I guess. But we will see that's how we can get rid of the CDN later. But I think that's it. So we don't have the env. Okay, maybe we just copy the env as well. Okay, oh, this is the env. So the env, at least we have these two things. Okay, I'll just copy the whole env. env.ts here, editor worker, and we should remove core. Oh, we also have this. What to use this? Load wasm. So Onigasm will be the grammar language server. The grammar wasm. That's yeah. Anyway. Create or okay. We also copy that. So at least we can see if we can reproduce this environment, and then we can try to replace something that we don't want. And so here we have the utils. And I guess we don't want core. I guess the difference between core and non-core is the core version will not have the TS worker or something. Missing types. And I do have installed these things. So if I just try to restart again. Okay, I'm fine with self. This is inside the worker. And for the store, I guess we don't need this thing. We don't need this init Monenco thing. Or did we? Regist editor, regist component opener, on code editor. Okay, this looks interesting. So okay, so here if we don't, let's say we don't need reload for now, just comment it out, load, yeah, reload language server. Okay, maybe this has something to do, so we'll copy it over. Extension. Whoa. I'm not sure it's going to work. Okay. Yeah, just ignore about these things. We're not going to do anything about it right now. So it does not show up any error at all. So I wonder if this is something we needed. Okay. So we could copy it over. So the message here, the reason to post message is here is inside the worker. And if we don't have this thing, and we'll refresh it. Okay, we can have a console log. So we can say hello, you need it. Okay, we don't have anything. So here, let's try. If we have a label here. Okay, here is a label editor worker service, and we don't have the label for view. If we click here, it has label type. So the first thing is the label view is not coming through, and that's a little bit weird. And here we already changed that if the language is, if the extension is view, we return view, right? And the language here, so here languages. Okay, here is the model, and the model we have the language here. So we create model language, and that's supposed to be including view. So it might be something wrong with the. I think we have the ID here, extension view. Is that supposed to say that if I have a JSON here, I can go with JSON, and if I have I don't know, HTML, we can have HTML. And is that means that it can auto infer that? No, not so sure. So here is the same, here is the language, and we already registered the language, but the label is not coming through. That means this whole code is not being called at all. And let's go to this. I guess it's better for me to clone it. Right, we'll install the thing, and here we can have I guess a little bit better understanding of what it is going on. So here, okay, that's finished. So I guess this has something to do with the environment. Okay, it has a dependency. I guess that is because the view and the TypeScript is loaded from the CDN. Okay, language ID, active marker, active auto insertion, register provider. Okay, I think this has something to do with it. This has to be something to do with it. So, okay, I guess we need this thing. So reload language. Okay, so language on view language. This probably have some relation. So store. So what is store? What is store? Okay, this is the context of view REPL. All right, so let's go to here. So here we have the environment, right? And load. Okay, I think we should bring it back. Dependencies. So and store. So what should we do? I think we can create a simple store here. Wait, store. Get a created model. Regis. I'm not sure if Regis. Okay, Regis editor opener is support for go to definition, so we don't need this yet, I suppose. So then we have state, right, and TypeScript version, and like that. So we can assign a default value for it, and dependency version, I guess we don't need it. So here view version. So in order to make it work, I guess we can check our TypeScript version and we can hard code it for now. So it's 3.3.10. And then for TypeScript, we don't even install TypeScript. What the heck? Okay, here. And yeah, we don't need this type, I guess. As long as we assign the value to it, it will be auto inferred. So view version, store. Okay. Oh, I think I'm misunderstanding that. So here it should be directly like that, and then we use equal. All right, and so you have a store state. Why did store state and store? So that's different. Okay. Anyway, I just want to get it working, and then we will figure out how we can change things. Get tsconfig. So we can just ignore that. We don't need tsconfig. Get sync URLs. What this for? Active auto insertion. Okay. What if we just provide an empty array? TSLocate. What this is for? What if I don't provide it? So view worker. Okay, this is should be fine. And so worksheet effect is fine. And here, so we basically have these reload language tools, right? And we have store. Reload language tool and store loads Monaco environment. So we basically create a new store. So this is not exported. That works. Okay. So here, we need this. We need to comment out this. I think we are not using this at this moment. Or maybe Vola is using that. Not so sure. Okay. And where is our app? Okay. Vola is emitting some error message, and it's fine. We don't use pug, we don't use emit, and we're printing label, and label is still not working. Unspec usage coming again. What happened? So if we do TypeScript is fine, but it has the unspec usage again. Okay. How can I block the request? How can I filter out them by failing? Oh, it's passing through, right? Oh, maybe because I'm fetching thing. And when I'm fetching new content, I guess. So the fetch. I got it. So this should be fine. I got the JS deliver, and yeah, it looks okay. Even disable cache. Oh. Hmm. What this supposed to be? Undefined. So it can be undefined. It's fine. Worker initialize. So here is something that we are waiting for emitting message. But I think the problem here is not about that. It's about this is not being called at all. Okay, so I guess this because this function is asynchronous. Well, that we are running in a synchronized environment. So I think we could probably wrap it. So init Monaco. And here we can await it. And we export this thing. And we have a store here. And here in the Monaco editor, we will need to await for it, right? And that will be worker like that. So it's not side effect. It's a function now. So maybe we should put it inside the script. So instead of script setup will run for every component. Script setup, if you don't export anything, and that would make it only import once. It's outside this component. It's like, and this is the side effect. And oh, but this will be top level await. So we can do like promise here, equal to init, and then here we'll wait for the promise. And then not so sure if that works. It's refreshing the page. I'm a bit confused. So what I'm confusing me is here. I logging it. I'm logging a label, but it's not outputted at all. Right? But I mean the rest is working. Or maybe is that because I have this thing? Maybe. Oh, I see. So this function is actually overriding my environment. So that's something I don't want it. So I think I probably just only need this thing. So I don't need this other thing. So I just need this. So it's Monaco, yeah. So I can bring back this language register and just reload language tools from that. Okay. So here you have the label TypeScript, which is something I would like to see. And you have a label view, and that is also great. And so for label view and here, okay. So it says it's initialized. Or maybe, so the language highlighting is not working. So I'm not so sure why, but let's install these things. So here we're going back here to the environment. Okay, just bring it back and load wasm here, and we call that load wasm here. It's called init Monaco. So that means we can probably also do it here. I'm not sure if the order matters. Okay, maybe let's do it beforehand. But it load wasm is not awaiting for it. And load environment. Okay, so this is after. I think this goes after. Okay. And then this is all the files. File languages. It's creating files. I'm fine with not creating files, I think. So here, here we don't need to do this. And here we have the message. It's called init. So here we have the worker already, I think. So it's a view worker ready. And label is being verified, it's working. And then here we have the reload language tools. So Volar registered. And maybe we could log something. I don't know. Okay. The server crash on. I kill it. It says Volar registered. And I think we already kept the view worker working as is. Right? And if we go to network, if we do fetch, I think it's fetching TypeScript. What's this? Package info. Is CDN net. Okay, import TS from CDN, and import TS from CDN is here. And okay, if has TS locale, we do locale. Otherwise, it's fine, right? And after fetching the content, diagnostic message. Okay. Import TS from CDN. And that is TS function. So this should be already called. Create language service. TS config view compilation option. Compiler options. Okay. So it's supposed to be registered. Unless this get sync URLs has something to do with it. And if so, let's try this. So we have a dev, it's Vite server, and we have this URL, we'll copy it. All right. So it's just a view repo, and you have the types working. All right, and I have an inspect. So if I have an inspect here, I'll just refresh it. I go to all the fetch it goes through. Okay, it's fetching TypeScript, but we are not actually, I think. So this is initiated by utilities. It's Volar CDN initialize it. So I think that might be the main difference. So even though we have all the things, but we are not actually importing them. So this is a fact, this is all version you have. And well, that's the actual one would be npm TypeScript. So this is something that the real code is. So it doesn't fetch the type. So it doesn't fetch the real content for some reason. Create a model of each file in the store. So let's say if we don't have this, right? It should still fetch the files, and it should still have the type. So it's not related to this. And I guess supposedly not load wasm should be also fine, because I don't think the okay. Okay, this has something to do with it. That's interesting. Right? I just verify again. If I comment this out and if I refresh, it does not have the syntax highlighting. Okay, but it has the types. It has the types. So, okay. So that's something I didn't. So load wasm. So it has to be used by somewhere else. Dependency optimize. Okay. And Monaco here. Create theme light, semantic highlighting enabled. Okay, and okay, nothing too special here. So I suppose that's okay. Wait, again. So here, I have a load wasm, only being called once here. And this is load Monaco environment, which is assigning these things afterward. And so yeah, I'm just wonder, that's what would be the difference. And here, I think we can have, where did I install it? In the dap dependency, maybe move to dependency. I don't think that matters, but at least let's try. Okay. I just commit it. I know it's not committed, it's just staging it. So if I do something wrong, I can still trace it back. So I think maybe I should get the syntax highlighting working first. Why 3.3? Okay. This shouldn't matters. I don't think this matters. And in needed. So we have TypeScript version. Oh, view worker. So I have view worker as worker. I think that's okay. And we create a new worker and add an event listener and ts loc. This should be fine, I think. So if we just do undefined and this, okay, this should be from m. Okay, so view server ready, right? And load wasm, we load it. So this is synchronized, so it should be fine. Okay, this we already handled that on the other file. It's okay. We do these things. It's okay as well. So I think we don't need this file. So the maybe it's because of here. Yeah, I think that might also do with it. So here, we can go back to the SFC component, SFC repo here. So I think the difference we were doing is like before, because I didn't have the files here. So I'll just return an empty array here. If that would cause the problem, maybe you should fix it. Nope. Okay. Okay. So it does have some difference. It's not enabled Volar anymore. So okay, so this is actually a factor function, right? So it doesn't have to be there immediately. So I guess the thing is would be all right. I think maybe we could do some different. Is that instead of the store, we could pass the play. So at least we can list all the files. Basically here, that's do files equal to here. So we have a counter here, and then return files, and then we basically pointed out the files. Map to string maybe. So let's see how the format works. So if I refresh it, it should type the files. So file is source apps tsconfig import map. Okay, so that makes Volar knows here you have a file. So I think maybe we could do the same. So we basically get synchronized here. We should do a real thing. So here, right? We comment it out. And registered get synchronized URL. And okay. So here, how can I pass it? How can I pass this information? So it's passing a store, right? Okay, I think we can keep using store. It's fine. So that would be files like that, and it'll be a string. And here, wait, what? It needs Monaco here, right? We can return the store. It needs Monaco. Is that it has to be asynchronized? Not all the things is synchronized. Okay, that's good. And so here, if we go in here, so if we have the store, so we read that it to import it to pass through, and we go to the Monaco file. So here we just init Monaco, and then we have the play use playground store, and basically we have a new store, right? And we have store. So we can do we can pass the store, and we do watch effect. Basically assign the store state files equal to play.files, and this is a virtual file, so we map I equal to I.path file path. So it should be like that, and I hope that would work. And that's it. So to be sure, we could have we could just again we can hijack this thing and return it, and then we have return files, and we log it. Okay, and we refresh our page. Okay, I did it wrong. What happened? I know I will do it wrong. Map.file path. But why is 0? Why is 1, 2, 3? That does not make sense. I'm doing file map, right? And that is file path. So file path is string. That's pretty weird. Cannot create a model, it already exists. Okay, thank you. And here, okay, it's the keys. Okay, thank you. So here we can just pass it, we can just map it. Yeah. And then I'll refresh the page. Okay. So at least it knows we have all these files. Oh, it's working. Amazing. So even though we don't have the syntax highlighting, the Volar is working, the language server is working, so it's having the types already. Okay, I didn't know what I didn't know what I did, but okay, this is pretty nice. Yeah, thank you, and thank you for your help. So here, at least we have something working. Of course, we were going to refactor it, and I mean the original structure of the view repo is not very aligned with our goal. So I think we're probably going to change something. So I wonder that's what's the dependency, and what if I just comment out all the dependency? Would that still work? Okay, so the dependency is not required. I think it's probably for CDN, and that means we can just comment it out first. So let's figure out how we can do syntax highlighting. And I don't know, is that because of this? Maybe? So I think this library is not doing anything. I think that's probably because Vola has would use it internally. So I'm not sure, but we could go to the repo to see what they did. So git no my Vola.js. Okay. So I wonder if it has something to do with the oligasm. Nope, it's not. It's not importing it. So yeah, I think here. So here I know this because I was using this for Shiki, and that is for like syntax highlighting to parse the TM grammar. So this is related to syntax highlight, and yeah, this is a Wasm version. So I just searched the whole repo to see if it has something to do. It has nothing to do with it, and interesting. And here, it also has nothing to do with it. So okay. So that's, I think this is not the original code. Open on GitHub. Open details. What's the detail? I'd like to see how this change is being included. This is formatting code. Okay, use Monenco. Oh, I think this is going to be a giant PR. No, I think we're not going to read it through. Or maybe this file is not being used at all. No, I mean, it's not the case, right? Because we once was like commenting it out, and it does not have the syntax highlighting anymore. Okay, okay, I saw it. So yeah, when I'm not doing that, you will see here this is the oligasm entry. So here the index tm grammar, right? And the arrow.js. Which file is this? It's arrow.js. Okay, it's Monaco editor core. Okay. So basically, I think this is a dependency of Monaco. So one thing I would think in my, no, it's all independency. These two are independency. So it should be fine. It should be optimized by Vite. And this shouldn't be a problem, I think. And yeah. So is there any grammar? Oh, here. I find it. So it's like a bit like indirect. But here you have the load grammar. And load grammar, where is it? Load grammars, editor instance, and Monaco. And load grammars. So we basically wait for it? Is that the thing? So we have Monaco here, right? It's putting inside the unmounted. So basically we have the editor and we put it here. I guess we can do it later on. So it does block the other thing. So what's the editor instance? I think editor instance is the editor, right? Load grammars. Where is the load grammars from? Okay. That means it's Monaco Volar is handling that. Okay, that's pretty cool. So we import that. I think we can revert it back to remove the script. Okay, or use script setup. It's fine. So I think I also need to install this. And load thing. I think load thing we don't need it. We already have our own theme. All right, I think we are close. We are really close. Okay. There are some error. Okay. So how can I do it? I mean, okay. I think because this is introducing too many dependency. Like, I think this Monaco editor TextMate is a dependency of Monaco Volar, and Vite is not going to resolve it well. So one thing we could do is I mean, we could try. And so here Vite, we have a dependency optimized, and then we can have a exclude to exclude that thing. Not sure if that will work. So basically say don't optimize that, just import it as is in the browser. Okay, nope, it's not working very well, I think. Oh, okay, so it's not working very well. I guess maybe I should install it. Maybe that would be the problem. Okay. So it says the file is not exist. So probably. Do it, do it. Oh, see, you see, it's amazing. Yeah, the refresh is a bug. Okay. We have the syntax highlights. Okay, that's nice. And I'm not sure why this is not being highlighted. So I think this probably has something to do with this. I'm not so sure. Okay. I'm so afraid that we don't make progress today, but I'm happy with it. So at least we have something to say. And so this semantic highlighting, it's not. Okay, so at least this message is being highlighted. And okay. Okay. So here this is pink. This is because the type is not resolved. So we will need to feed them with the types with the TS config, with the real TS config. Currently, it doesn't have any TS config now, so it does not know anything about Nuxt pages, Nuxt links. So we are going to fix that and either this thing. But yeah, I'm super happy that this worked. So lower grammar, I always think about it. Maybe we have a more efficient way to do it. And no, pink is the so this thing is my thing. So pink is actually error in terms of the grammar parsing, and that is because you are using a non-native tag. So if you change to dev, it will be green, and if you change to anything else rather than the native thing, it'll be pink. And so pink warns you that this is a tag that's not exist. But here you see that in my editor is working fine. That is because it's resolved to the types. So I will show you. And here, right, it's green. And oh yeah, it's actually turning to yellow. That is because this is a component. So component will be marked as yellow. So so yeah, that's something we're going to fix. So at least we have a very clear path to how we could fix that. So so now is something we should do about. Okay, this is not used. So we'll do a little bit of cleanup. So we just remove the label, and here load wasm, and yeah, can do some. Okay, get or create model. We are not using it. Are we using it? Web host. So here, this is something we don't need it. Because we have another virtual file system, we just implement it. So here, we don't need this. We don't need this. So do we need the do we have the type for this? I guess we have, right? Oh, we don't. Or maybe that is because. So here we have a to do, refactor this out, and yeah, so we don't need this, I guess. Do we have a work? Okay. Okay, we have a host, so we still need to keep that. Okay, that's not a big problem. So so here, all right. Let's just verify it again to see if that works. Oh, we need to comment it out, this logic as well. So it's working. That's great. So if we change to, okay, we change back to screen. Okay, you have all these things. That is nice. But I think the grammar is not working really correctly. And I'm not so sure why, but we will figure it out. At least I think this shouldn't be a white. This has to be some color. So the goal would be to matching here, to matching with what we have in VS Code. It should be like this, and this is master. It should be green, and this is the punctuation, and that should be gray, and yeah. But I'm so happy, happy we have it. So that's it. So oh yeah, I should comment this out. Wait. So that's the establish boot. So just okay. So it started booting, and we'll see. This is some error. I'm not sure why, but we'll figure out. And okay, so here we have the hello world, and we have a lot more. Save it. Okay, it's working. So two lowercase. Yeah, I have a. If I need to press Command Save, to save this file, while that's it's not being prevented, so it's trying to save this web page. So this is another thing we're going to fix. So anyway, I think we are good now. At least as long as for the Volar. So fit integrate Volar language server. Roughly. All right. So glad we made it today. 1.5 hours. Okay. So I think that's pretty. That's a lot today. Yeah, it's it's taking a lot of energy to me. So yeah, would you like me to explain anything? Let me know. Just comment. So I am happy to explain anything. Like the views, uh, reactivity, or that we did last time, and I think we can do it. Yeah, I think we can just chat for like 15 or 20 minutes, and then we'll call it a day. Or I can just fix some little bugs here and there. Either would do. Starting Q&A. What is that? Oh, it's killing the chat. Uh, I guess it's not a good idea. You can just come. I think you can just comment it. It's not a. It's not something I would expect. About the terminal. Oh yeah, I guess. Wait, where is it? Editor. I think that's fixed the save thing. Here on text. input. So the change is not actually an event. I'm surprised it's going to save it back. So here, I think the write is only being called once, right? So we don't even file this event inside this thing. I'm not sure how it works. So here, because like here we didn't do it. So if we do like change, and then we should emit like that. Oh no, change. So we have the value. I suppose they shouldn't have any performance different, but I'm not happy about calling a function twice to get the value. And so what I'm going to do, yeah, I'm going to test it out. All right, and if I change anything, okay, this is instantly saved. But I'm still confused. That's how it works previously. I don't got it. I mean, like previously because the changed event is not being bound, and how the change is going back to the file. I'm super confused, but but okay. So we're basically going to fix right back. Okay. Can you show the editor works? Are you asking how the editor works? Or I guess for Monenko and I don't know very deep about it. I think the heavy work is handled by Volar. Okay, yeah, I think we have a PR, so we can review that PR. Dev2 works wrong. I need to check it. What? What this? What's this? Whoa. That's amazing. So this works. Okay. If this works, it should be like adding to the my VS Code is dead. How come? So wait. Okay, okay. So basically here I should set the certification less. This two. I should set this two inside inside the dev tool, I guess. So so yeah. What happened to my network? Okay, it's back in normal. I'll restart. All right, we can check if that works. So check out that commit. We run dev, and all right. Okay. Okay, that's amazing. That's really amazing. So so we basically have web container working while with the dev tool. Okay. That's pretty good. I appreciate that. So I think we'll fix that inside the dev tool directly. and so we don't need to work around it here. And I think that's okay with adding those attributes, or maybe we can make it configurable. We'll see. And I think that's something that's very good to have. And right, thank you. And we have a workspace package pass typo. I made a typo. Oh. Okay. I made a typo, but it's worked. Oh. Thank you. And okay, and talk about this PR about interactive shell. So I was thinking that because currently, I guess you don't have any, like, even though we are showing the terminal, this is output only. You don't have the chance to interact with the playground. And so no, yeah, I think I need to. Okay, so here, the PR is trying to add interactive terminal. That's we were talking about that. I think it's in our to do. So here, add interactive shell, and that is because I happen to see the documentation of web container to say you can actually fire up an interactive shell with Swamp JSH J shell. And so here we have a few iteration of this PR. So here we have the add interactivity and enter short tool. So I add some feedback. So this one was originally to say that we are not going to start the Vite server directly. We'll instead of asking user. So it's basically changing the command here from like trying to start a server. Instead, like it just firing up the JSH. Where is it? Install shell here. Yeah, it's vibrate terminal. And I think this is not a very good thing because I think by default we want to fire up the Nuxt server for the user, and only when we are trying to demonstrating how CLI works, and we'll ask a user to type those server. We'll type those commands to fire up the server. So I think currently like this is only a very it's not a common case. It's only when we need to introduce those things. So maybe later we can make it configurable, but currently I don't think that it should be default to ask user to type the command. So I made I did some comments to here and created another PR called interactive shell 2.0, which I haven't have time to check it, but you already closed it. Yeah, just by the way, you don't need to close the a PR in order to do some changes. You can just directly push to that commit, push to that branch, and the changes will be reflected to the PR. So you don't need to close the PR, recreate again. You can reuse the existing PR, like changing things. And so I think here it should be more reasonable. So it basically says that if you okay, this is reasonable. After we kill it, we should unset this process and output stream. So here basically have output stream and input stream, right? So input stream, and that would be process interactivity. Okay, launch interactivity process. Okay, and this is output stream. So I'm thinking that maybe we could just directly expose that current process. So with the current process, the stream, the terminal client can just grab that stream, can grab the both input and output stream. It's not. Oh yeah. Hawkeyes. Yeah, This is a, I think this is a typo. So it should be process dev, not process install. It just, oh, it's amazing. How you did that? It's just a fresh, like 2 seconds. Okay. I would fail to find those typos. I'm so good at making typos. And okay. So basically to say here, kill previous process. Kill previous process. What is function being called? Where? Okay. Launch default process. Okay. So you're basically wrapping this function into launch default process. So default process will be pnpm install and start the Nuxt server. And after that, we will launch an interactivity process. But okay. So here, I think we have a little bit of problem here. Maybe get writer, kill it. Is that type anything will kill it? I'm not so sure. So we basically want to say that if user want to do something, they should press Ctrl+C to terminate this server, and then start to type the command themselves. And if we, I think if we restart the terminal, it should be able to do that again, I think. So I think I can directly check into that PR. So so we can directly working on it together, maybe. So what I'm thinking is probably that maybe we don't need to check so many process. You see, so we can check the current process and we ensure that there's only one process exists. So I think we can maybe like just remove all these things, and we could do current process and shallow rip like that. So what we could do here, and we can just return it. And we may not need this like output and input stream anymore. So I think we could do is like here, we can have a current process of value equal to this, and we'll wait for it. Yeah, like that. And we'll do like this. Now it's current process. Yeah, it's okay. It's not a big deal. And here, we probably don't need those things. What we could do is to current process kill, and then we have a current process dot undefined. So because in this terminal we only fire up one process at once, and it also doesn't make sense to fire up twice, right? Fire up two command simultaneously. So I think we could do it like that, and here we could basically have it as a process. So it's a current process, and current process will be current process. Oh, this is the, so we can change to P, and if we have a P dot output, and again like that, so we can have a read undefined. Okay, here again we have a little bit of a type error, and we basically need to wrap as a row. So it does not being unwrapped by the by Pinia. And here we go to here. No, it becomes what happened. Okay, I'm glad to have you coming to the stream to find typo for me. Thank you. And okay, so this should be stream or undefined. So I guess that's maybe we could try to say, yeah, if we only write when it's something here. Okay, so here is the same. And I think that's okay. This is for output, right? So this is for output. And for input, we could do the same here. So it's for reader, it's a writer, right? And we have a p dot input, and we got writer. And if I have terminal on data, we'll have a writer write data to it, and try catch. All right, and I think we don't need these things anymore. Yeah, should be able to do it, I guess. And I'm not sure if we can terminate these things. So here is launch interactivity process. So I think we need to await for until it exists, and then we should await for it. So it's basically after the default process finished, we should start the interactivity process. And yeah, I think here we could make sure that's okay. Okay, and then we could do it again. So we basically wait for them to exit. And yeah, I think so. And we could try if that works. So we have the okay. Yeah, if I press Command C, it will terminate the Nuxt server, and yeah, it will terminate it, and I can type anything. I think I can type less. Oh, yeah, that's pretty nice. And so basically, we could run like npx Nuxt dev to run it again, right? And I could just terminate it again. I can do anything. And if I type refresh, it will kill the terminal. It will kill the shell, and it will restart it. So, and that would be nice because every time if I mess something up, I can terminate this current process, and it will do that, things like that. But here you have the problem, a little bit problem, because if I'm running on the yeah, I think you can have less. Yeah, so basically having two processes simultaneously. So, and that's not something we want, because currently we were checking wait, where am I? So because currently, like when we are waiting for the default server to finish, right? It can be interact by the user, or it can be interact by the restart server. And like imagine that's okay, we are waiting for this line, we are waiting for the Nuxt server to finish, and then right after that we will start the interactive process, right? But the problem here is like if we restart it, it will terminate this current process, and when it's terminate the current process, and it also goes to the other thing. So it will be, how do I say that? The problem here is like it will be at that times if I waiting for the Nuxt server and I hit a refresh, the interactive process will start. So the shell will start, and also the command will be run again. So here, this is not safe to say. So in order to ensure that we only have we only launch one time, I think we could do what we could do is like we can have a utility function called swamp maybe. So here we have the command argument like that. So we have the process, right? And this is the should be a wait, and then we should assign this value to the process, and also we should wait. We should set a exit, and we can set a then, and then if the current process is equal to process, we unset it, and we also make sure if there's no current process. So if current process, we should throw a new arrow. A process is already running, so then we can and then we should return this process. So here, instead of this, we should do our swamp, and we pass the web container instance. So like that, and we don't do this. So process, and we can do exit. So we'll wait for it to exit. And here again, we don't do it. We'll do like this. Okay. We can reuse this. And yeah, here again. So we basically swamp. Or maybe, I think it makes sense. We can just wait for it to exit. Right? I think we can just wait for it like this. So it will be always exit. So it's R, return R. Yeah. Exit is not a function, it's a promise. So it's already created a promise and you await for it. And here I use them because I want to do something after it's being exit and before this promise is being resolved. So here I can just return a swamp. Yeah. So here I return a swamp. And it parses 3 argument. So here this should be optional. Oh, this is not optional. What? Okay. I can equal to empty array as well. It should be fine. And yeah, I think that's something like that. But I think we still have this problem because after the default process, we just we do the interactive right after. So here you can see. So if I open up the terminal, but here we have the guard, right? We have implemented the guard to say there's only one terminal, one process is being allowed to run at a single moment. So you see that after Nuxt is running, and if I press refresh, it should be, I think it should send an error. You see, a process is already running, and that is fired up here. So when I refresh, I don't want the interactive shell to be start immediately. So I didn't have a very good I don't have any good idea to fix this, to be honest. So what I'm thinking is to say how should I stop the up sequence? So what I'm thinking is maybe you could have a token, something like that. Okay. because we basically want to say if the current running is PM when we restart it, we kill it, and we don't want it to swarm a dev afterward. So this is like a full procedure. Like you fire up a few sequence of command, and when I terminate it, I want to terminate the whole sequence, not the current command. So it basically to say that okay. So I think maybe we should introduce a token to say like this. So here we have a sequence. Yeah, it's pretty much like a board controller. Oh, can we use the board controller directly? Maybe like this. So I think we can basically say here we can have a, yeah, we can maybe we, yeah, that's a good idea. Maybe we can just directly using it. So here we have a web container, and a board controller. Is that signal? Okay, that's pretty smart, I think. So so it's signal, right? And if it's signal aborted, we'll just return it. And if the signal, yeah, here is fine. So is signal abort signal if we just return it, we don't run the command. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. We can use the native one instead of like implementing all these things. So if it's aborted, we'll do it like that. And so here we should expose this abort controller. So that means we could have a board controller here, and which the type is abort controller undefined. And we'll say abort controller abort when there's exit, and also like we unset it. So here we do like here. So here because we when we start the server we run kill previous process and we abort this controller. So that means we can put them together. So that means the up sequence should be aborted because we make sure that every abort sequence would be before running each command and after running each command. We do the abort sequence. Yeah, I think that should do. I'll refresh the page. I think that makes sense. Yeah. So when it's running the install, if I run it, yeah, it will run the install again, but not the up sequence. So we don't. Oh, we still have it. Or why would we still have it? Oh, I see. So here we shouldn't reference to this. We should have a local signal. So we basically have a signal here. Okay. Yeah, because this shouldn't be global, but when the value changes, we are referencing a new value because this is a weight. So here we should have a local variable here. So make sure it doesn't change. I think now this should be fine. So if it's installing command, right? And we click it, it'll kill it and it'll install again. And we don't have any error. And now we have the Nuxt server running and we kill it. Okay, it does not have any error. And then we have the upsequence sing. Yeah, that's pretty nice. And if I terminate with Control C, and it goes to the shell, and we have a list. And if I restart the server, okay, anything went well. So yeah, that's very nice. Yeah, thanks for reminding of a board controller. I actually have never used it, but yeah, and also like you see that this is why I kind of love TypeScript, because you don't know anything, but you can press start and you have two things. Okay, and it's pretty straightforward. The signal is saying that if this is a board or not, and there's a function called abort, so you just abort it. So yeah, that's pretty nice. So okay, cool, and I'll do it. And okay, I'll push it to your PR. So if I go to this PR, you'll see my commit coming in and your commits as well. So this is be like, okay, and here I think we should change this thing. So because I think we no longer need this, because we are using the pinya. Or so for the panel terminal, we don't need any pops, right? So here, yeah, and then do it. Do we need this? Do we need this preview? I mean that here it should be fine. This is output, this is input. I'm missing a command. And we are assigning swamp. Yeah. Here looks good. Queue previous process. Do we have this function? Expose. Okay. It's not being used elsewhere. So I think we can just not expose it right now. And also here, if I have a preview, should we worry about this? Refresh iframe. When it's ready, it's refreshing iframe. So here, update preview URL. It should be fine, isn't it? Because here, when the server is ready again, it should fire up the server ready function again. Yeah, I don't think we need that. Because the point is to not refreshing the URL when it changes, I suppose. Yeah, it's like it can be changed by the client side, right? If we comment this out, would that be fine? So if I refresh the page, when I run pm dev, the iframe not response. Oh, so you mean that if you kill it? Okay, I mean if you kill it, okay, then the server is dead, and then we have npm like pm dev, and it's not ready, right? in this sense, it kind makes sense. So I think it probably the fix need to be server ready here. I think server ready here. We should change the status to be ready. When do we set these things? We never set it. Oh, I see. I see. So we are not setting here directly, and I think maybe we should set into start, right? And when we set ready is here. No, here, not here. Where is it? Okay, on ready. So here on ready we set ready. So this is RPC sent to this to our server, and okay, I see why you do that. Because when set it to ready, we didn't refresh the page. So here is maybe like update URL preview, maybe like that. Okay. So whenever the server is ready, it should just replace the server to be ready, even though it's not being fired by our command, right? So here, if that is ready, it will be ready, and if I kill it, I think maybe even killing it, we should have it event. But if I refresh, it says it's not ready, right? And if I run pm that, no, it's probably okay, and it says start, and then we're waiting for it to ready, and it should be ready. I'm not sure how long it take. Or maybe because it's already ready. Okay, I think there is something wrong. So here, update the preview URL. I think because the URL is not changed. So what's your previous? Okay, refresh iframe. Okay. So I think maybe we should watch for this thing. So so here so when the status is to be ready, and we refresh the page, maybe that would make more sense here. So we don't need these things. And here we already checked for previous URL, so it should be fine, right? I guess we need to move it up here. So the previous URL is being set. Where do we call these things? On navigate, and on the page being resolved. So here, this is start. So whenever it's ready, we just refresh it. And because this is only trigger when it change, so it shouldn't be worried about this client-side navigation because this is always ready. Yeah, let's test one more time. I think this should fine. This should work. So if I kill it right now, and if I run pm that, and right, it's still not working. It's not setting it to ready. How come? Oh, okay. I think this would be okay. So so here Okay. Yeah, I think this is something here. So basically, when we start, we actually want the iframe to be used, because like we are waiting for the iframe to be updated, and the iframe is hidden, but the iframe is there. So basically, when we start, we want when the status to be start, we also want to update the page. So I suppose this should works. So this is the default. Okay, and then if we do pm dev, okay, it should start the Nuxt server, and okay, server and client. Okay, nice. All right, yeah, you're right. And all right, so here I guess we don't even need these things. Yeah, we don't even need these things because we set it to start. So that means here it will refresh the page, right? Yes. Okay. What do you mean by not installing again? So the reason when we start we run this install because we want to make sure if you add any dependency to the package JSON or something, and because the first run is very fast, as like pm knows. Oh, the status icon is wrong. Yeah, maybe. I think maybe we need some special handling in terms of this progress when this wait, what? Okay. I think. Okay. Because this is a sync. So we have another problem here because we set the start here. So I think we should set the starts later on. Because this is like whenever you set this immediately, it will be. So basically we want to make sure this is all afterward. Or yeah. I think we don't need this start. Yeah, I think we need some special handling in terms of the text when we run going to the interactive mode. So we'll say that's okay, interactive mode enabled or something, and waiting for the server to start and something like that. Okay, this should works. And if we kill it and we refresh the page is gone, and we pm dev, and the server should be updated whenever it's good. Yeah. Okay. It's running okay. Yeah, so for the text, I think we can handle it later. And so we can do update. Refresh logic. Okay, and I'll push it. So I think the PR is good now. I'm not sure where's the type checking is not working well. So we have a linked. Yeah, so for the project I'm working on, would be a little bit hard to explain, and we do all the things from scratch. So if you are interested, and you can go to see the previous episode. So you can follow the whole process how we build these things. So it's basically an interactive playground. And why the type checking is failing? Oh, okay. And okay, that's my fault. So so I was committing to that. Okay, and I think that's fine, and I'm okay with that. And later we'll fix it. I did it wrong. Terminate. Okay. Oh, what happened? Terminate. After you should terminate. No, it's nothing bad about this PR. I'm appreciate it started. So so yeah, don't yeah, you are doing very good, and thanks for the initiative. So we have time, we have the thing to work on it. So I just providing some of my feedback. I think I kind of feel like I personally feel that would be a better this way, and in terms of the long term. So yeah, so there's nothing wrong about this, and I think I'm also like open to discuss if you have any better instructions, you can also create another PR. So I think that's how we work together. So yeah, that's very good. So thank you. And I think I should check to the main branch, and I should remove the type. I should remove the type. Yeah. So here I just remove these things. It should be fine. So uh, all right. So I should fix that. All right. If you're around type check, you should pass. You should pass. Come on. Yeah, it passed. So and linked fix. Oh, okay. So I have some linking issue. Let's just clean it up. So I have a console log. Where's the console log? Yeah, and we shouldn't do that. So to do, factor this out. So so the point is like we should make we should remove this store interface. So we should provide our own context. So rather than a store, I was like just previously for the compatibility. So I guess for self, let's check worker self global this. Can I use global this in worker? Yeah, I don't know. That just let me that's test it out. So it's global this and global this. So if we try, if we see that if let's see if the Monaco ad works. So we refresh the page. All right, it works. So I think using global this is fine. So I prefer to use global this rather than self, and self is a bit weird thing. So so okay, and we just linked again. All right. So okay, and we go. All right. I hope this main branch should be passing now. Otherwise, if the main branch is failing, every PR coming will be failing. All right. So I think that's card today. And yeah, I know like at the start it's a big mess because I was like very messed up like how Volar works, but I'm happy that we figured it out. So thank you. And I will see. I'm not sure for the next week. So I think I'm going to take some day off, but we'll see. I will let you know about when is the next streaming on Twitter, or otherwise you will see me doing the YouTube schedule. So you will see that when will be the next live. So yeah, so thank you. Thank you for coming, and thanks a lot for debugging with me. That's really helped a lot. So yeah, I made a lot of typos or mistakes. So yeah, thank you. And yeah, I'll see you the next time. Okay. Bye.